Thank you, Mr. President. And I thank my colleagues for the debate. I'm going to take a few more minutes than the 2 allotted to me for my vote, because I want to respond to some of what we heard here and really explain the intent here. First, we do have standards. We do put no trauma-informed standard that anyone would devise would allow for or include some of the things that our students and our young people are currently experiencing in their lockdown drills right now. None whatsoever. They would not stimulate with live guns and with sound grenades and sound noises and banging on doors. That is not a trauma-informed standard. So we actually do put the minimum standards in this bill. And you know what? We are trying to do a lot. Everyone here wants to try to keep kids safe in a school building. We heard a lot of examples about what schools are doing. They're doing drills. They're having panic buttons. They're training teachers. They're having conversations. I didn't hear one thing about the thing that is killing our kids in our classrooms, and that's the guns. I didn't hear one thing on the other side about what is causing this carnage. In only the United States of America, it's the guns. I didn't hear a word from the other side about how we're going to get guns out of the hands of people who are slaughtering kids. And we're going to sit here and say that instead of tackling that problem, we are instead going to normalize the reality that our kids have to sit here and practice dying time and time again. What are we doing? What are we doing? How many times do you want to have to think about your own children simulating their own death in a classroom? How many minutes is okay for you? I have 2 children, as you all know. They're not school age yet. I cannot fathom for a minute letting them think about the possibility that they can go to a safe place like a classroom where they should be learning about reading, writing, and arithmetic, and instead learn to duck and cover. That's not the future I want for my children, and I don't think it's the future that any of us want for our children. But instead of actually proposing solutions or ideas or getting behind the answers that we know will help us solve this, instead we say, lock down the schools, lock down the classrooms, arm the teachers, arm the guards, put panic buttons everywhere. Everything but the thing that's going to solve this problem and keep kids safe. So it's a little disingenuous to say we all want to keep kids safe, but we're not going to do the one thing we know that can actually solve this problem once and for all. As we were researching this bill and talking to parents and talking to advocates, there's a whole industry out there about what kids can experience in these lockdown drills. There are books. I referenced a Winnie the Pooh themed book about lockdown drills. There's a book called Lockdown Drills at Superhero School. That's a way to help kids think that it's fun and safe, and this is just a fun little activity. There are coloring books and workbooks. What are we doing to these kids? They teach this in some schools. There's actually a nursery rhyme song. I can never think of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star again when I sing it to my 2-year-old or my month-old baby now. When I think about the words, lock down, lock the door, shut the lights off, say no more. Go behind the desk and hide, wait until it's safe inside. Lock down, it's all done, now it's time to have some fun. Some fun. Now it's time to have some fun. Faking your death is over. Now we can go back to playing blocks and playing with dolls and learning about ABCs. That's not the future that I want for my children. I don't think it's the future that any of my colleagues want for their children. We know there is a better, smarter way to do this. We know that there is 0 data to show that 4 drills or 5 drills or 10 drills or 30 drills will actually keep kids safe, which is why we're not getting rid of the drills. We're only saying make them better. Do at least one and make it be the best drill you can make it. Don't have kids go through this trauma over and over and over again. Don't saddle them with years of psychological trauma because we think it's going to make us feel better, because we can't do the thing that's required of us, which is actually get guns out of the hands of people who are killing our kids. And by the way, there hasn't been a school shooting in New York in almost 20 years. And that's because in New York, we've taken action to keep guns out of the hands of people who are going to do harm in our school buildings. We've banned people from owning assault weapons that are going to try to harm kids. We've done all the things we need to do, and we just need Congress to get its act together and do the right thing and get guns out of the hands of people who are doing harm to our kids. Thank you, Mr. President.